First, I want to say how appreciative I am of working with Ranking Member Hyde-Smith. She has really helped to advance this bill and continue the longstanding bipartisanship of the T-HUD bill, and I look forward to our continued partnership for the long haul. Thank you to Chair Murray and Vice Chair Collins for their efforts and leadership in helping us to reach consensus under very difficult circumstances. Every year, it seems we have less time to do this work, and yet our staff rises to the occasion and puts in long hours to get it done and done well. And so I want to thank Mike Clark, Jason Woolwine, Cameron O'Brien, Michael Ciamara, Rajat Mathur, Jessica Sun, Kelsey Daniels, Abby Laver, and Dabney Haig. Special appreciation also goes to the workhorse behind all of these bills in editing and printing, Valerie Hutton, Karen Thames, Penny Miles, Lynn Cookley, and Elmer Barnes. We appreciate you working together as well as you do with professionalism and good humor under pressure. The fiscal year 2024 Transportation and Housing Bill provides $98.9 billion for infrastructure development, FAA and Amtrak operations, affordable housing, and community development programs. While this is a $7.9 billion increase from last year, we lost $7.6 billion in FHA offsetting receipts, meaning this bill just keeps up with current funding levels. With that in mind, we've focused on fully funding affordable housing and homeless assistance for nearly 10 million low-income people supported by this bill. Every community is facing the pressure of a lack of housing stock, and more people are falling into homelessness. The homeless population is also aging with much more complicated medical conditions. So we're increasing targeted assistance resources to improve coordination between housing and health, to build the capacity of communities and service providers, and to create more permanent supportive housing opportunities. The bill also maintains funding levels for home and CDBG. These programs are important and flexible tools for state and local government to support the construction of more housing and the community needs around it. And the Yes in My Backyard program uses public funds to incentivize jurisdictions to unlock private investment and overcome the national housing shortage. On transportation, this year's bill has a major focus on FAA. We have fully funded the FAA's budget requests on operations, staffing, facilities, and equipment in order to restore hiring and modernization efforts that were frozen during the pandemic. My colleagues and I are separately working to reauthorize FAA, and this funding is complementary to those efforts. On infrastructure, we're committed to building on the historic investments in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act to improve our aging transportation system across the country. We've also included record-level funding for Native American housing programs and provisions to expand access to transportation.
Good afternoon, friends. This could affect many low-income Americans. A new group of lawmakers in the House of Representatives have just introduced a brand new piece of legislation that would help millions of Americans financially. Once finalized, automatic recurring payments would begin being distributed. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, on Friday, I will be announcing more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My dearest friends, please make sure that you enter these weekly giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the weekly giveaways. House Representative John James has just introduced a bill that would increase the child tax credit to at least $3,500. The new bill would create new tax credits for people working in critical professions. The bill has been co-sponsored by other House lawmakers. It would raise the child tax credit from $2,000 annually to $3,500 for each child, or $4,500 for children under the age of 6. The full credit would be limited to people making less than $200,000 a year, or $400,000 if filing joint returns. The legislation would also create a temporary 3-year tax credit worth $3,500 for healthcare workers, law enforcement officers, firefighters, child care providers, and personal aides that are working primarily in federally designated low-income communities. Both of these credits would subtract from what an individual owes the federal government at the end of the tax year, rather than a refundable credit. During the crisis, Congress had approved a temporary higher child tax credit that was fully refundable, which allowed families to receive the full credit even if they made so little they didn't owe any federal income taxes. Tens of millions of Americans have low incomes that they do not pay federal income tax, or around 40% of households in 2022. That has been the crux of the debate over expanding the child tax credit in Congress. Democrats are pushing for an extension of the crisis-era credits that can go to parents even if they are not working, while Republicans are arguing those proposals discourage work and increase dependence on the government. Representative James said his tax credits are intended to go to the people who desperately need relief and who are working and earning a little bit of that relief. It is similar to one proposed by GOP Senator Marco Rubio of Florida. So expanding the child tax credit has been a point of debate in Congress for more than a year since the crisis-era expansion expired. Democrats and Republicans have split on whether parents must be employed in order to receive the benefit. This has prevented significant legislation from either side of the aisle from progressing in the narrowly GOP-controlled House and Democrat-controlled Senate. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Lawmakers are also debating on state child tax credits. A group of Ohio economists believe a state child tax credit would lead to millions in state benefits in the form of increased future earnings for children and reduced entitlement spending. Analysts have recently released a cost-benefit analysis of the impact of the state child tax credit. They concluded it would generate between $60 million to $300 million in net benefits. According to the analysis, most of the benefits of a state child tax credit would be realized as increases in future earnings for children who qualify for the tax credit today. In addition to the federal child tax credit, 12 states have child tax credits of varying levels and availability, with credit amounts ranging from $100 to $1,000. Mayor Eric Adams of New York is calling on state lawmakers to make a tax credit that helps families permanently. The supplemental child tax credit applies to certain middle and low-income residents of New York. Mayor Adams also called for expanding the earned income tax credit. He said it is clear that the earned income tax credit helps lift children out of poverty, so we can either pay now a small amount or pay later a larger amount. The earned income tax credit gives benefits of up to $930 to low-income New Yorkers. Eligible New Jersey residents can also claim a refundable child tax credit on their New Jersey resident income tax return. The credit amount can be up to $500 for each dependent child, age 5 or younger. The credit reduces any taxes owed and can result in an increased refund for the taxpayer. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Sunday. My dear friends, thank you so much for joining me here and for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, I will be announcing several more winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, please make sure that you enter the weekly giveaways by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.